When I was a kid, my favorite Muppets character was Gonzo, and to a certain extent, he still is one of my favorites. He's weird, he's eccentric, and he just loves having fun. But how did that character come about? How is he what he is? He's so different from all of the other Muppets characters. He's such a weird thing, and you think as a main character they'd want to base him on an animal, so how did he come about? Well, let's jump into that. If you're new here, make sure to click subscribe, or if you've been here, you've watched a couple of videos and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Click subscribe now so you can get everything that comes your way, and make sure to click the little bell icon so you get notified when we post new videos. Gonzo's first appearance in anything was 1970's Christmas special by Jim Henson called The Great Santa Claus Switch, and this was 15 years after the introduction of Kermit the Frog. Gonzo was a late introduction to the party. And here he wasn't even called Gonzo, he was called Snarl the Frackle, and the character was just some generic bad guy, but Jim Henson liked the character enough that he thought he could do something else with that puppet. He handed off the puppet to Dave Goulds, who also famously did Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, and later would be the voice of Figment at Walt Disney World's Epcot. Goulds and writer Jerry Jewell asked Henson if they could make a minor change to Gonzo, tweaking his eyebrows to be able to make them more expressive. Henson originally thought of the character, this new Muppet, to have a low self-esteem, but when Goulds and Jewell changed the eyebrows, they made sure that he had this new, and I quote, bombastic appreciation of life. And so that's when Gonzo was born. Gonzo's original role with the cast was actually pretty minor, but as the Muppet Show grew in popularity during the late 1970s, so did the character. His wacky daredevil antics and his general mischievous was a hit with audiences young and old. And the writers' room continued to have a blast coming up with strange and weird scenarios that Gonzo could get himself into, creating this daredevil stunt persona, even to the point where he was eating tires and balancing pianos and just doing the strangest of things.
7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 17. Oh, let me count that. 7, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1, 11, 12.
While the writers were having such a fun time, so was Dave Goulds, as he was able to, as well as all the other Muppets performers, ad-lib lines here and there as they were shooting The Muppet Show. During a bit where there were dancing chickens on The Muppet Show in Season 2 in fall of 1977, Goulds uttered the line, "Don't call us, we'll call you." Nice legs, though. And from that point on, Gonzo was given a strange, weird attraction to chickens.
Okay, don't call us, we'll call you. Nice legs, though.
Jim Henson laughed out loud at the comment, which allowed that attraction to chickens to continue into the writing room, and from that point on, they always tried to figure out bits where Gonzo was with chickens in some way or another, constantly having different weird poultry girlfriends. And in 1979, the character of Camilla was actually created to be Gonzo's longtime chicken girlfriend, and they've been a pair ever since. She's appeared off and on with him in numerous films and specials, and in particular, a special called The Muppets Go to Disney World. There's a connection that you might think goes from being a friendly, fun thing to them being a little bit more serious. In the special, Camilla and Gonzo end up in a laundry chute in the Utilidors, which is like the cast member only area of the Magic Kingdom, underneath where all the guests usually are. And you hear sounds of them kissing and maybe more. It is interesting and strange to watch, but coming from Gonzo, I guess it's not all that strange. Another trait to the Gonzo character is that it's never really mentioned what he is or where he's from in the early days of the Muppets television show. And Jim Henson kind of liked that vagueness of the character. He purposefully never answered where Gonzo was from, and Dave Goulds always said that he came from his parents, and kept it at that. His origin, his species, became a punchline He thought maybe he was going extinct and he was the last of his kind, or he was called a weirdo. I know that in the original Muppet movie, he's even called a turkey by Kermit. Well, sort of a turkey. But in 1981's Great Muppet Caper, he was given the official term of a whatever. As they go by all these different crates, they're labeled Frog for Kermit, Bear for Fozzie, and when it comes to Gonzo, there's a crate labeled whatever. The 1999 film Muppets from Space gave us an actual real answer. The whatever thing went on for almost 2 decades, but from Muppets from Space we got the answer that he's actually an alien left behind on Earth. The ending of that film ends with a big dancing and singing routine with Gonzo and all of these other creatures that look exactly like him. But he gets left on Earth yet again, or he wants to stay back on Earth with his friends, so once again he's left to be the only whatever on Earth. Following Muppets from Space, a lot of merchandise that came out of Gonzo labeled him as an alien, and that stuck around for a few years until retroactively he once again became a whatever. The punchline was a lot funnier when he was a whatever, and I think Disney and the Henson Company both agreed that that's really what Gonzo should continue to be. Gonzo is still considered to be one of the most popular Muppets of all time. He's had a role in every single Muppet movie, and he's even been able to be the narrator in a movie like A Muppet Christmas Carol. Most of his major film roles these days, he's playing opposite of Rizzo the Rat, as the pair really do well together as this kind of buddy comedy team. It's unclear what the future holds for Gonzo the Great. It's really unclear what the future holds for the Muppets entirely. They've been slightly introduced into the theme parks. There's possibilities that they may have a new show on the Disney streaming service. They do have Muppet Babies on the Disney Channel. There's hopes that there may be more films in the future. But I hope that the popularity of the Muppets continues to grow, because I'd like to see the character of Gonzo continue to have his place in pop culture. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you love Gonzo, leave a comment below, or leave a comment below on what your favorite Muppet is and why. I love hearing about Muppets, and I love hearing about all the different characters and how they impact everyone. My favorite character currently is Pepe the King Prawn. Just my favorite. He's hilarious. And you gotta love Kermit and Fozzie and Miss Piggy and all the others. I just love them all so much. So leave your comments below, let me know, and make sure to subscribe, and make sure to check out our podcast over at network1901.com. We got tons of great stuff over there, always going on. And in the meantime, thank you for watching, and keep on moving, people.